All right, just want to recap real quick because I know we had some microphone issues earlier, but we do have one more run to bid on these, donate towards these plushes. So it's $3. You can win. We have 2 of each available, so there's 4 total. So there's plenty, for everybody.
Mario. 100%.
Green, bro.
And then we have a new addition. Starting this run and running through Shogo, which is the next run. We have a Data East All-Star Collection for NES from Retrobit.
Now, what's on that, Nick?
Well,
Video games.
we got Bad Dudes, Side Pocket, Ring King, Buggy Popper, and Burger Time.
Ooh, Burger
And
Time.
Ooh.
Fan of that.
Buggy Popper is a bump and jump. I don't know why they use the Japanese name for the collection, but they do.
Phrasing.
But yeah, so this is a brand new compilation officially licensed by Retrobit. So that's a this one is a $5 donation to get this one, this run and the following run, and then again with these plushes, $3 can get you one of these.
Wow.
Yeah, you don't have to be a Super Mario All-Star. You could be a Data East All-Star.
That's
There we go. Perfect.
Yeah, damn straight.
All right. I'm good to run?
Okay, yeah, you count me in.
All right. So, hey, everybody. I'm TheElderSpork. I have Picante with me. You guys haven't seen us yet.
Yes.
So, we are still in Super Mario All-Stars, also known as Super Mario Collection. This is the original. This was supposed to be run on the NES by Supersonic, who could not make it tonight due to flight issues. Supersonic, I miss you, buddy. I know you're watching. I'm going to try to do this run justice. He is a much better runner than me, but we are going to play this game from start to finish warpless. So I am going to start when I hit the start button. We will go. So I'm going to count down now. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So first things first. In All Stars, they have adjusted the hitboxes for just about everything. So we're going to go for the early power-ups as opposed to the faster ones in 1-3 and 1-4 because pipe jumps are infinitely more difficult. So
Yes.
right now I'm in fear of getting fireworks. I'm going to bump to avoid it.
So fireworks are different in this game than Lost Levels. While Lost Levels, it had coin count and you had to do some math there. This is much more simple. If you get a 1 on your timer, you get 1 firework. If your timer ends in a 3, you get 3 fireworks. If your timer ends in a 6, you get 6 fireworks.
So you just have to be aware of where you are in your timer. There are some levels where if you run at the full speed, you get fireworks. You have to take intentional bonks in order to avoid them. So
Sometimes you gotta go slow to go fast. It's an unfortunate part of
I'm
life.
so glad I got that. And I take my first hit there because Mario jumps up on that. So I will be collecting those power-ups in 1-3 and 1-4 anyways. So make sure I do not take the warp pipe. I tend to run a lot of any %, so this is a very difficult trick for me.
Yes. It's fighting muscle memory, which is like half of speedrunning.
Yes, very much so.
Speaking of difficult, because we mentioned that before, one of the reasons why this game is actually difficult for some casually, more so than Lost Levels, is due to the game over system.
Absolutely.
So you have 5 lives here, so you have a comfortable start, but this game is much more punishing when you do end up game overing. In Lost Levels for All-Stars, not in the FDS version, the FDS version follows the same as SMB1 here, but the All-Stars Lost Levels version, if you game over and you had a checkpoint, you lose the checkpoint. That's it. It sucks, but there's worse scenarios that could happen. In this game, if you game over, you go back to the start of the world. So if you're in 1-4, game over, back to World 1. For a speedrun, that is absolutely soul-crushing. If you're in a race, you game over in 1-4, it's done. So, yes, he's going to definitely try to maintain his life count, make it above
I'm going to wait there because I did not
0.
get the right. So, if I do end up game overing, it is $20 per game over for me that I'm donating. So.
Does that include safety game overs?
Yes.
Okay, so when I say safety game overs, often if you have 1 life, maybe even 2 lives, you're going to a particularly hard world, you will actually take the deaths in the first level of the game, of the world, just due to the fact that you don't want to game over and lose way more time in a few levels afterwards.
Absolutely. So we are through World 1. I will say somebody did mention I got the 1 firework. 1 firework does not lose any time whatsoever, so it is...
Yes, and speaking of worlds, this game goes to 8.
Took another hit there.
That's all good.
Not.
There's definitely mushrooms in this level.
There's another mushroom. I can't remember off the top of my head where it goes. I tend to run this small and regain in the next one, so I am a little off my line right now for muscle memory. Back on it. So that spring can be a jerk. I am up there. And we're going to get 3 fireworks.
Hey, at least it's not a green spring. How about that?
Exactly. So,
But yes, this game only has 8 worlds, so he is. I'm not trying to like say one game's
8 times 4. Come on, simple math.
32 levels.
There we go.
I did
Good
it.
job.
You'd think it's ice climbers.
Ooh. Now, is that throwing shade or complimenting?
No, I like Mario.
Yes. So we are going into the swim here. Little current there. 2-2 is not a bad swim. You just have to pay attention. 7-2 is the other swim. Where, see, I kind of got a little carried away there. Where it gets a little more trolly. So this part, we are going to avoid the death.
Always a good strat.
You know, not dying is a very good strat.
Sometimes you're actually able to not walk on top of that coral. It's actually very hard to do, though.
Yeah. And I am going to take another bonk here because 7 seconds to the timer.
Yeah,
and we're
so,
going to avoid it completely because I don't want fireworks.
so that is actually a difference between Lost Levels and this game. So you notice that the pipe is much more close to the stairs in this game than Lost Levels. So it's 7 in-game seconds out of a pipe instead of 8.
The top level Mario speedrunners actually get that to 6 seconds. I don't get the fast excel the same as them. It's Cosmic's world record is safe with me playing. So we are going to grab
Not
this
for
one
long,
here. Avoid the cheeps. They do not like us. They keep coming after us. Okay, through. It's a very simple level of platforming. It's just every now and then you do get trolled by one of those cheeps, and it just makes your life a lot more difficult than it needs to be.
So we're coming up on 2-4. This game likes to build. So essentially, those blank boxes that you see there,
Oh, took the hit.
they'll
Photo
actually
got
have
me.
fire in later stages when they reuse this castle. This jump is actually not super easy over here.
Well, it's easier now that I'm small. When you're large, it is a duck jump. The thing about Potaboos in the NES game, Forward Bowser, thank you. In the NES game, Potaboos actually vary in their height, and it is frame rule dependent. And if you don't know what frame rule is, it's RNG. In All Stars, all Potaboos are high. So you can get under them in the certain castles that are a little bit more difficult. There is one in particular, 7-4, where it makes your life a little more difficult. I am going to avoid the mushroom that's right there because that is just a very not marathon safe way to go. So there's one more power-up I can grab in here that I go for. I'm sure there's going to be people in chat screaming at me about where the other power-ups are. So, and I got hit by the hammer bro there anyways. It was a bad pattern. Alright. Come up there, and yep, they're going to be bottom again. I do want to get up top there. And then we're going to avoid all of these enemies to grab this one mushroom.
Nice.
And then avoid all of these Koopas.
Oh,
Every
okay.
single one
All
of
right.
them.
Just showing off your
Up
platform.
over.
ability.
Who's to avoid fire?
I should have upped my estimate a little bit when I said I was going to take this on. To be
That was on
honest.
purpose.
Yes, intended strats.
Just wanted to get everyone a little bit excited.
This is why I commentate the runs,
It was
not run
fire
them.
Yeah.
avoidance. That's all it is. It's exactly perfect.
It was absolute clock manipulation.
That's
Yes,
right. The
100%.
RNG is now set.
Yep.
All right, fast grab there, grabbing below it. We're
So
gonna.
one thing that
Good judging.
SMB1 definitely has over Lost Levels is more themes. You don't see the snow theme, or do you?
You
in
do
Lost-
see the snow theme in the All Stars version. I don't know about the FDS off the top of my head, so.
Okay.
And we are through there. We are all powered up going into 3-3, thankfully. So I hit the star there because if you clear that gap clean, you will go into that pit and die. So you actually do want to hit that, for me, just to get my line safe. So I am, again, this is not a top tier skill run. This is actually lines that you can learn at home and become a speedrunner yourself. I absolutely encourage picking up Super Mario Bros. And speedrunning it. I understand the top level players make this game look insanely easy with extremely hard strats, but this is still a fun speedrun to pick up, even for your first speedrun
Totally.
ever. Please, the Super Mario Discord is absolutely active all the time. Sometimes
say.
sometimes overactive, but there's a lot of resources to really help get you into this, and a lot of the players are, bad fire bar.
That's 'cause they count.
Yeah, there's actually RNG related to how the fire bars spawn. So sometimes you have easier patterns to avoid.
I should
There
have
we go.
recognized it, but this is absolutely amazing. 2J that you saw Picante run Lost Levels, Super Mario Run. Everybody in there will be glad to help you. Come into one of our chats at any time. Any one of the guys you've seen here, follow them on Twitch. Get into them. Enemy, Picante over here. Everybody else that's come
Mixmaster
through this.
PJ.
Mixmaster PJ.
Just to build on what he
So-
said, everyone who starts out speedrunning always says, what game should I speedrun? And everyone always says the same thing, pick a game that you like. Who doesn't like Mario? This isn't Where's Waldo, this is a
I don't think
very
it's more
popular
like-
game people really
Yeah,
like.
this is a video game.
Well, to be
So
fair,
I'm going
pretty
to slow
sure
down
that-
here so I get to jump over. I am going to go for the aggressive fireball here. Whenever you pick up a power-up, Lakitu does throw a spiny immediately to try to get you. So, a fun fact, if you're playing small on any percent in All-Stars, on the Japanese cart, if you hit that power-up and clear that gap on a jump, that actually causes Mario to go backwards on the flagpole, which saves you time.
That's cool.
So,
Are the crazy any percent strats on this level the same as they are in
yes, yes and no. There are certain things you can't do. Flagpole glitch is really viable right now, only in one.
NES? Right.
Oops, missed the duck jump into there, so we're gonna go up through here. I am a top route safety strats for
Yeah.
life.
Well, it only loses a frame rule, so it's
Yeah.
it's.
But for any percent on this
My big
particular
thing is
level,
I have to remember to go down. But yes, you can wrong warp here.
you can wrong warp here too? Okay,
Yes,
cool.
you can absolutely wrong warp here. So, but things like bullet bill glitch in 8.3 will actually soft lock the game right now.
Oh, wow.
So because it checks for Mario to go through the door in the castle.
Okay.
Not if
So-
you made the flagpole go down.
Well,
Well, it,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
As opposed to it.
Yes. So, 4-2, the most infamous level in Mario history, go through here. This is where I would have Supersonic explaining Sky Boots. I know nothing about Sky Boots, and honestly, I don't know if you could see it, and it doesn't matter, I slowed down anyways. I'm going to take this safe here, because that Koopa likes to get you.
What is the structural integrity of mushrooms?
Um,
Would they
appar-
support a Italian plumber?
Honestly, when you're in the Mushroom Kingdom,
You'd expect them to be
you
pretty
would
strong
expect them
mushrooms.
to have some high-quality mushrooms.
Okay.
Wait, are high quality mushrooms supposed to be strong and dense, or are they supposed to be light and fluffy?
You know what? That's going to be up for the
That's
dealer's
viewer to
choice.
interpret.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So this
no
is
accounting for taste.
this is the first of our maze levels. What I like about All Stars is it actually gives you the ding system to let you know that you went the right way.
That's cool.
I'm going to do a duck here to avoid that fire bar and hold on to the duck.
Yeah, that beautiful ding.
Sometimes you feel like a duck. He's going to jump forward.
Nice.
There we go. Now we finally got a fire kill. See ya. We are now technically halfway through the game. But in the original, and especially in Lost Levels, they don't give you that ding to let you know you go the right way. So when I was growing up, when I was a kid, I am unfortunately old enough to remember Super Mario Brothers being the only Mario game.
Yep.
It's frustrating to like, why is this level going on forever?
A nice quality of life change, really.
Especially in 8-4 too. That's,
Oh yeah.
yeah. At least in 4-4, you can sort it out eventually. It's
Oof.
not so bad, but
I missed my line.
Who doesn't like Mario? SpongeBob. Who doesn't like Mario?
Ding, maze is done.
I get it. I understood that, right?
Ding dong.
Captain America, I understood that reference. .gif.
Yeah.
All right, this beginning section could have a pretty brutal bullet bill there, but
Wow.
Yeah.
he did get
No, you know what? That's
Yep.
okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's
We're
fine.
gonna grab this guy.
Nice.
Let's see if I can get through here. Nope.
Oh.
That's okay.
That's questionable.
No, that's okay. So he's gonna stay above. Very good. Because I have one here.
Right.
All RNG but him.
Yep.
Yeah, this
Nailed it.
game is very kind when it comes to the amount of power-ups it gives you.
In the first.
In certain
in the
stages.
early 8.
Yeah.
Once you get to 7 and 8, it's a little more difficult.
Yeah.
I'm not getting there.
They really crank the difficulty up to 11 towards the end.
Yeah. So, all right. 5-2 and 5-3 are the most difficult levels. The one thing I do like about All Stars is there's less despawning. So where in NES, in this, there's a specific Goomba I have to bop in order to spawn the platform to continue the level.
Yeah, this one they can handle a few more sprites on the screen. That's not to say you can't despawn stuff. It is possible still.
Yes.
They loaded too many enemies in this game that were crazy.
Nice hack, Miyamoto. All right. 5-3. 5-4 is my least favorite castle. 6-4 is a terrible castle too, as far as trying to get through quick. But 5-4 tends to be the bane of my existence.
5-4 is a harder 2-4, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we mentioned it before.
Nope,
Okay.
and I bonked.
Well, we mentioned it before. That fire bar you see under that
How many? Okay, 4 lives. I'm doing good
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, you got this. That fire bar you see that he just passed, that was not there in the 2-4 version. In fact, most of
This
these
one
fire
as well.
bars.
So again, same jump, and I'm gonna. Yep. It's just
So
it's
close.
just trolly. It is very trolly. If it was Chef Boyardee, it'd be Ravi Trolley.
All right, well,
Again,
this
the
is,
fire bar. So I'm gonna take this safe to get through. We tried to go fast.
this is why you definitely want to stock up on lives, because if he game overs right now, then he goes back to 5-1.
Yeah.
Okay, that's actually a good
Good,
pattern.
yes.
Again.
All right.
No.
So that is a frame perfect and pixel perfect trick. So
That I intentionally did because I knew I was going to.
that is at 60 FPS.
I want somebody to clip that.
Everybody clip
If
that
you
in
like that
chat.
wall jump, donate $5 right now.
Absolutely.
If you didn't like it, donate $6.
Wall clip, stay tuned for 8-4.
Okay, so that right there, I intentionally jumped on top of that in order to despawn the first spiny throw. So you get on top of those power blocks and do a medium jump to the bottom of that steps there, and Lakitu will not throw that spiny. First one.
And the pressure's on because Spork only has 2 lives. But Spork is a speedrunner. He can do this.
That's fire.
And
Yeah,
That was
he'll
terrible.
take a safety game over because he knows he's got it.
All right. So I'm coming into 6-2. There is a This is one of the most beautiful runs to watch in a speed run with all of the sniping that goes on through that I do not know.
Yeah,
So,
6-2 is one of the
This is going
more.
to be a very safe.
6-2 is
Oh,
arguably one of the most.
As I
technical
take the
stages.
hit. See,
Get outta
there is the fixed piranha plant. So
Nonsense.
that is.
Broken piranha plants.
Yeah, this stage, especially without fire, is actually one of the more difficult ones.
Yeah, there is a power up there that I did avoid because I have lost more lives going for it. That it is in 100% in my head. So.
Yeah, this trolls a lot of well, really anyone, a lot of runners, but there's some piranha plants that if you
Whoa. So what I tried to do there is if you do not stair boss there and touch that stair, you jump through clean, get to the top and hit the top of the flagpole. I happened to clip the step, and the Koopa almost got me right in the...
I hope we got firework emotes.
Oh, nice.
Alright, so we are going to go up here. There we go.
Stage.
Nope.
Up and down.
Alright, it's time to clutch it.
Stage.
You know, out of all the stages in Super Mario Bros., this is one of them.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
It sure is. Nice.
And there's 20.
Well,
I am back to 6-1. I should have not gone for that power up there. So
out of all the places to game over, it was not the worst.
no,
really
no. So
Yeah, 6-1 especially is really not a hard stage to get through. So
oh,
commentating curse right there. Yeah. Yeah.
Picante, you're fired.
Okay.
I'm tagging enemy in. Yep, there we go.
Okay. Yeah. Never say anything.
Speaking is very bad. So
I know.
no,
Oh,
the
and
word.
the
Commentator
checkpoint.
curse and
Yeah.
marathon curse.
Getting the checkpoint is actually painful there.
Yeah.
Murphy's Law.
All right.
So this game has checkpoints all the way up until World 8. That's correct,
Yes.
right?
Except for castles. Castles, you start over at the beginning every single time.
At least we got a high enough score that it started over again.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
1,000,000 points. Take that nice and safe.
Slow and steady here.
Slow and steady makes the speed run.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta go slow to go fast. We
right.
mentioned it before.
Alright, so I'm gonna try these stairs again because I'm mad that I didn't get
Okay.
it. There we go.
Good.
Alright.
bit more fortified this time going into 6-3.
A little bit more, so I can. And the funny thing is, 6-3 is actually the easiest level in the world. It's just I missed my line. That's all.
Yeah, that specific instance.
So right there, I want to jump from that platform to that platform.
Getting this power.
I'm getting this. The good thing is that platform right down here is gettable no matter what, and you can get back up. So, come through here because we're gonna get some bills. Because why not? I'm gonna take the spring.
All right.
And then jump, and
Good.
All right.
All right. So now 6-4 is where the fun begins. I'm probably going to take a hit here. I am not going for the power up because of the fire bar setups.
No.
So, not only do we get the high potaboos, we get all this, and let's get more of this. It is similar to 1-4, except let's add more fire bars.
I'm pretty sure isn't it?
It's 1-4.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yep. And also, hey hammer.
Hey, gave you a nice pattern there. Yeah, World 6 is where they introduce hammers thrown by Bowser.
Yes.
Right.
Correct? Yeah.
Yes. Same in Lost Levels as well. So, but our princess is still in another castle.
Unfortunate.
You would think these toads would be grateful after all these years.
They just run away.
Yep. Just like, nope, we're out of here. So,
Are we sure they're the same toads being rescued?
I'm assuming so. Can I get this? I cannot get that because I do.
Maybe
not
with
have
some
the
screen
momentum.
scroll shenanigans, but
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
there's more
So-
power-ups in this stage. But World 7 is really when the difficulty starts cranking.
So, what I'm doing right there is I'm actually jumping from cannon to cannon, and that was the bad pattern. That's okay. That's very much okay. So, I am actually not going to get the next power up here. Oh, screw.
Well, luckily you got a checkpoint. It's actually good in this instance.
Screwy is what I was going for. I'm trying to keep it PG.
It's not required, but you do you.
I think my kids are watching.
Oh,
so.
okay. Well, then.
Yeah, the hitbox on that Buzzy Beetle that he just jumped over actually can be extremely misleading. It's very easy
Yes.
to die. So
yes.
it's
Well, the
great
thing
that he
too
got over
is
that.
where if Mario's falling and wins, same thing happens on the stairs for the enemies, where
Yeah.
they will win every single time because of where they are in the animation. I did not get the power up there because it really makes this level a little bit harder. It's nice to take the hit, but I prefer the smaller hitbox to get through because they just said let's get some more squids up in here.
Yeah, the majority of the time, if you're not going for fire, it's usually a detriment to have mushroom. Like you bonk, you don't get in certain places. Like it's small is bliss sometimes.
Alright, we got one more to deal with, and he's actually in a very good position. That is awesome. That blooper can be very trolly and just block that pipe and just keep you fighting it for what feels like hours.
Yes.
So, shout outs to 303 on the timer.
Oh yeah, our favorite band. I don't even know what songs they. What's the 303 song?
I've listened to one, I have one album that that's my guilty pleasure. I don't care.
It's these guys,
It's really
right?
a band called 303.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're terrible.
But it's
I think you guys
OH,
mean
not-
311.
No.
It's 3 and then OH and then 3.
Oh.
And then
Okay.
Exactly.
Up, see,
Okay.
there we go. Troll. There's the troll
Yep.
there. This is a throwback to 2-3, except now they throw Koopas there. What I like to say there is those coins are always a lie.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, a question about the water levels for
Go
you.
ahead.
Can you do the same thing that you do in?
Did it again. He's just in a bad spot.
Can
right
you do
there.
the NES trick with the small fire Mario?
No, small fire is not in this game, and I'm down to 1 life yet again.
Yeah, so this is actually what probably inspired all the bad coin trails in Mario Maker. That one right there.
And game over.
He got his money's worth.
He
Like,
definitely.
oh, he jumped over me this time, huh?
That Koopa's getting promoted.
So what happened
Chomp.
there? What happened there is the Koopa got hit by the Cheep, which changed the Koopa's path because of collision boxes.
Yeah.
So, but now we get to do this again, and those guys behaved down there. Yep. Yeah. Ooh.
Does the does
Really,
the
guys? There we go.
Nice.
does the trick in Lost Levels work in this game regarding
Which one?
going to the left and not getting hit by the?
No.
All right, that's
Nope.
what I thought. Just want to make sure.
No, because the thing is those Hammer Bros follow you.
Yes.
And now we got 6 fireworks, so we've seen all the fireworks.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's important to note. In Lost Levels, you may have seen the Hammer Bros do their activity, but in this game they're a little bit more docile. They basically just go up and down, but they don't necessarily follow you unless the timer is like less than 100. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can't remember off the top of my head. So there's very few times in Super Mario Bros. And speedrun that you are under 100 in the timer,
Yeah.
and mostly never. Yep, missed all my snipes. Those bloopers were very trolly to me. So. Oh, this is terrible.
Yeah,
I'm going to abort that pattern right there.
there are two sides of RNG, the good and the bad.
And that's been bad, so...
Yeah, we'll see if we
I
get the
always challenge that blooper. I got the good one last time, so
Yeah.
I'll probably have the bad one this time, yep.
good. Yeah, that's the one we don't like.
But
It's alright.
It's work dodges
I've
it.
seen him once or twice. I've seen it.
Let's get a revenge on 7-3.
Yes.
Yes.
Revenge on that specific Koopa.
That's funny, that's not usually the Koopa that gets me, it's the next one after.
Yeah, it's not the only misleading coin trail in the level.
Alright,
All right, well,
and there's the one that usually gets me.
yeah.
And we got the flyer, the other flyer. Now, the height on those flying Koopas actually do vary in the game, so that's a lot more difficult with power up when you think you can run under it and you get the low one.
All right,
5.
We did it.
So 7-4 is another maze level. Now I was explaining, I'm going to wait for that Potaboo because he tends to go drop immediately when you try to jump over him. Whereas NES, you can get a Lotaboo and it's a lot easier. So I'm going to do a turn back here. Did not get up in there. That's okay. That's the intended path through the maze. All the dings are good.
Yes.
Up and through. Get me a nice fireball. Backwards Bowser.
Yeah,
Jerk.
this maze kind of trolls you because it's bottom, middle, top on the first one, and then it's top, middle. You would think it's top, middle, bottom. It's top, middle, top.
Yeah, and there's
They're
also
switching it up.
the other thing is the maze detects that you go through it correctly on the ground. So
Yes.
if you jump over the trigger, it automatically rejects it and you have to run through again. In
Yes.
7-4, you can actually trigger an infinite loop where it will not pass you on the maze no matter what. So I am not going to be getting to fire. Fire does not matter anymore because we don't have to worry about the kill screen in 8-4 for Bowser. All we have to do is touch the axe and that's the time. So you're going to see me play a very safe 8-1 here, where in NES you can jump over those because of the fixed Piranha hitbox. It does not happen.
I mentioned this before, but World 8 is really difficult. It's where the difficulty kind of gets knocked up to 11 in this one. I would actually consider World 8 in this game harder than some of the worlds in Lost Levels. And especially with the game over system sending you back to 8-1, it's extremely punishing. This is where you usually see people who are learning this run
I'm
really
going to do a
start to
backwards
struggle.
jump over there to charge my jump to get over that plant. And 6 fireworks. 187 is usually my time, my aim time, but I had to tap left somewhere. That caused the timer to go
We're
down.
trying to
This is
187
Star
Bowser
Swag.
187 on a...
Yep.
on a Koopa.
I didn't know if anyone was going
Star
to
Swagger
bring
for
that
good
up.
judges.
So fast, there we go.
Ooh,
Get up on
yeah,
our
there
knees,
we go.
fast start.
That is not easy.
So that is, yeah. There is a strat, the world-renowned Xerox Fiend BBBB strategy that I do not employ, unfortunately. But what they do is they brush, bounce, boink, bong, blang,
Do they hit the
bitty bitty bang
the-
bang.
the B
I
button?
don't know. Yes. So I'm gonna wait for that Koopa there to play it nice and safe. Get up and we're through. So
All right.
you see those 3 Koopas enough, you kind of know the patterns where they're going through, where to jump over and under getting over there. That's just how it is for me. So 8-3, I am going to grab the safety shroom because I have more than enough lives to do it, and I know I'm already overestimate. I apologize profusely for that, but
You're good.
and I get the troll, but
So
he
there's
can
a-
only go
there we
up
go.
from here. So
Yeah,
There's an
sorry.
ongoing theme in old Mario games where it's like, you know what, second to last level, let's just throw out all the RNG. So
Yeah.
you got Bullet Bills, you got Hammer Bros. It's actually a nightmare.
So I'm gonna wait for. Yep, there we go. Nope, I took the hit there because
All right, RNG. That'll work.
this is a bad Hammer Bro pattern. This guy's gonna jump.
Oh.
No, he didn't. Thank
Oh,
God.
money.
Usually he jumps
Yes.
right there if I see that. So
Wing guy hammer, bro.
that is one of the worst levels to run small. Period.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Do the
It's a nail
if
biter.
you kick a Koopa shell into the Hammer Brothers, do they actually die in this version?
I believe so,
Okay,
and
that's
I
cool.
did not get the fast start there.
They
I
often
missed
jump
my
though,
cue.
so they miss it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but in the NES
So-
version, you just go through them a lot of times.
Get through here. I cannot despawn that plant like you can in the NES.
Can we pipe jump this
So,
one?
pipe jumps are possible.
Yeah, we saw
Yeah,
Spork do a wall jump.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw a wall. I didn't
Yeah,
notice. I
it's
behaved
just I don't have the setup for it. Again, I am not. Okay, I'm gonna wait for this guy because.
And I'm fairly certain you need fire because the piranha's going up, right?
I believe off the top of my head I don't know. This is the one wrong warp you will see.
Yes.
We are into the swim.
There you go.
One blooper. Get under the fire. Through the bloopers, up and
Nice.
over. This is actually a different path I take than the NES. That fire bar was in a bad spot. I'm gonna play the nice aggressive play right here.
All right. Ooh, that was.
And not forward Bowser. And I'm not jumping through the hammers. Time.
Nice.
Guys, that was a less impressive SMD1 Warpless race that you would have seen from Supersonic. Watch him next week at GDQX. You will see
Yeah,
how good
yeah.
this game is run. But for now, that is going to be the end of the Mario block. Just shout outs to everybody at RGL TV. They're doing a great job over here. Picante, thank you so much for being with me on this one. This was such a fun block.
Yeah.
For my first in-person marathon, I am so happy. Guys,
No kidding.
please
That's awesome.
give them money. They shut down the whole store. Now, we're all buying a bunch of stuff, but help them out for doing this. They did a great solid, so thank you very much.
Yeah. And I want to give one more shout out to Supersonic. We do
Yeah,
really
hell
miss
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Miss you, buddy.
Sonic.
Love you, Supersonic.
Yeah.
Every 100.